Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've been feeling like you're just constantly getting knocked down by life lately, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're unpacking some truly incredible source material from some of the world's most resilient thinkers. We're going to look at how to literally outlast the pain and transform your deepest struggles into your absolute greatest successes. We're diving deep into what it actually takes, both psychologically and physically, to survive those moments when, well, absolutely everything goes wrong. And more importantly, how you can harness that adversity to fuel your future. So let's jump right in, because I know so many of us need to hear this precise message right now.
We've got to start right here with this foundational truth. Success is not measured on the days when the sun shines. Success is measured on the dark, stormy, cloudy days. I mean, it is so remarkably easy to feel like a total winner when everything is going your way, right? When the money's flowing in, your relationships are great, and your health is perfect. But our sources make this striking, unapologetic point. The true testing ground for your ultimate success is not found on those sunny days. It's the moments when life violently beats you down. If you're struggling right now, you need to realize that your current dark day is actually the exact environment where your success is being forged under extreme pressure. It's the literal fire that hardens the steel.
Section 1. The dark, stormy days, facing the reality of the storm.
Let's look at what actually happens when we hit these inevitable walls. We all know this deeply unsettling feeling. Everything goes south at the exact same time. It's so dark you can't even see a foot ahead of you. Those meticulous plans you carefully made? Yeah, they turn to ashes and go straight down the drain. You're hit with this profound, suffocating confusion, and you start second-guessing every single choice you've ever made. And honestly, the biggest thing, you are hit with this overwhelming primal instinct to just run away and escape the pressure. Our source material notes that it's exactly in this precise day of confusion that the vast majority of people give up. They completely surrender to the chaos. But, as we're going to see, waving the white flag in this exact moment of maximum tension is the absolute biggest mistake you can make.
Notice the distinct contrast here on the screen. When the storm hits, we can totally choose the path of running away from the heavy boulders in our lives. We see people abandoning their marriages, quitting their jobs, dropping out of their degree programs, simply because the reality doesn't look like the fantasy they had in their heads. They think, man, it's just too much, I can't handle the weight of this. But instead of running, consider the alternative, the next level. The source argues brilliantly that when you run, you don't even realize you are actually running away from your own glory. You're running from obstacles when in fact, the obstacle is the exact vehicle required to transport you to your next level in life. Think about it for a second. You've already been through hell. You've already felt the pain. You absolutely cannot let it just end there in defeat. You have to endure long enough to extract some redeemable value out of all that suffering.
Moving on to Section 2. Finding your why, the anchor in the storm. So, how do we actually stop running? Well, I want you to ask yourself this right now, in this very moment. What is your why? When you're getting punched in the mouth by life, when you are feeling the crushing weight of that beatdown, and your brain is screaming that there is absolutely zero logical reason to get back up, what is the reason you should get back up? If you don't know what your why is, or if it's kind of superficial and just isn't strong enough, the daily, relentless beatdown of life is going to knock you out cold every single day. But when you finally lock onto your true why, man, everything shifts. You become dangerous. You become undeniably great.
The crucial point is captured beautifully right here. If your why is not greater than your pain, you won't stay down. You will finish this race. Your why absolutely has to be greater than your pain. Think about a parent lifting a crushing weight off their trapped child. In that split second, their why is survival, it's love, it's family. The temporary pain of tearing a muscle literally means nothing compared to the purpose of saving that life. When your fundamental reason for doing something outweighs the temporary agony of the struggle, you become an unstoppable force of nature. You wipe the dust off, you wipe the blood and tears away, and you force yourself back to your feet. That why is the unbreakable anchor that guarantees you're going to cross that finish line.
Section 3. Break down the struggle, the mechanics of endurance.
But let's get entirely practical for a moment here. Sometimes the pain is so overwhelmingly heavy that even the absolute strongest why feels a million miles away. This breaks down how to physically and mentally survive when you are just completely overwhelmed. You have to drastically shrink your perspective. Forget about the 5-year plan. Don't even worry about next year or next month. Step 1. Just focus on the very next breath you can take right now. Just the next breath. Step 2. Take the next step. And step 3. Take it strictly 24 hours at a time. When you wake up, start off just worrying about conquering the morning. Once you do that, try to get through the afternoon, and then just make it through the night. You solve one single problem, and then you look for the next one. When you break the massive, impossible mountain down into microscopic, manageable steps of survival, suddenly the unbearable becomes something you can actually bear.
Part of bearing that weight means dealing honestly with your emotions. You aren't a robot, right? The source lays out a really clear, pragmatic timeline for this. First, cry. Yes, actually let it out and release the emotion. You have to get it out of your system. It is entirely human to be hurting, frustrated, and disappointed when things completely shatter. But then you hit step 2. Put a strict 30-minute time limit on it. Literally set a watch if you have to. And finally, step 3. Grind. Get your butt back up. If you don't put a strict, non-negotiable time limit on your despair, you run the terrible risk of getting stuck in that adversity for the rest of your life. So feel it completely, time it relentlessly, and then get back to work.
Which leads perfectly into this life-saving mandate. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. Whatever you do, keep moving forward. It really truly does not matter how spectacularly you get knocked down in life. All that matters in the final accounting is that you get back up. Slow progress is still progress. When you're crawling through the mud, the speed simply doesn't matter. When you're in the thick of the storm, the absolute only requirement for ultimate survival is continuous, unbroken, forward motion, just inch by inch.
All right, Section 4, recycle your pain, reframing rejection.
As you keep moving forward, we see two distinct mindsets start to emerge. You can totally play the victim. You can sit there bound by invisible chains, feeling utterly powerless and letting the pain completely dictate your circumstances and your identity. Or you can choose to become powerful. You can shatter those chains and direct the power in your own life. You have the profound ability to redefine the pain, absolutely refusing to be a hostage to your past circumstances. You make the conscious decision that every single experience, especially the ones that hurt like hell and left scars, is your unique education. It really doesn't matter what happened to you. The only thing that actually matters now is what you are going to do about it today.
To do that, we have to completely reframe the whole concept of failure. To lose does not mean being defeated, broken, and quitting. That's a massive trap. If you shift your perspective, to lose actually means to learn. It means planting a seed for future growth. Look, if you win today, you win. But if you lose, you learn. You have to let that rejection make you hungrier. Let the closed doors make you faster. Let the betrayals make you stronger. Do not, under any circumstances, let it break your spirit. A loss is never the end of the book. It's just the intense opening of a brand new chapter.
The source material shares this highly personal and just incredibly powerful anecdote from the speaker, E.T., who famously survived years of homelessness. He says, "I outlasted the pain." He talks openly about the brutal reality of eating out of trash cans and sleeping in abandoned, freezing buildings. But he constantly reminded himself that he would not be a high school dropout living on the streets forever. He'd walk into those dark, empty rooms and tell himself, "This might be your current circumstances, but this will not be how the story ends." He just had to survive today. He proved to the entire world that if you can just outlast the raw pain day by day, hour by hour, your current circumstances absolutely do not have to dictate your final chapter. Which brings us to Section 5, the power of endurance, your final breakthrough. 4,000. Take a quick second to really think about that number. According to our source, the human heart beats approximately 4,000 times every single hour. Think about the sheer mechanical effort your body is putting in right now. Your heart is working tirelessly, pumping blood, delivering oxygen, fighting to keep you in the game even when your own mind is telling you to throw in the towel. Your body is fundamentally designed to endure.
Each one of those 4,000 heartbeats every hour, each pulse, each throb, each palpitation is literally a trophy. And that trophy is engraved with the exact words, "You are still alive. Act like it." As long as you are waking up, as long as there is breath in your nostrils and your heart is beating in your chest, you can still make it happen. You are still in the game. You still possess the raw physical and mental power to endure the storm and make your biggest dreams a reality. Please do not take a single one of those heartbeats for granted. Ultimately, the whole thing boils down to this final, undeniable truth. The only way you can lose is if you quit. You can stumble repeatedly. You can fall down harder than you ever have in your entire life. You can be forced to crawl on your hands and knees. But as long as you categorically refuse to quit, you cannot truly lose. You have to make up your mind right now that you are either standing up or you are actively in the process of getting back up. Let this be your breakthrough. So, the storm might be raging, but you are still here.
What are you going to do with your next 4,000 heartbeats? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you want to keep building that mental endurance and learn how to transform your struggles into success daily, make sure you subscribe to Elmi Motivations. Keep standing, keep moving forward, and I'll see you in the next one.